Good morning.
First morning in Mexico.
So we had a really chill, peaceful night last night. We found ourselves on one of these beautiful presas, which is essentially a reservoir. There's just a tiny little town just over here, and we figured a presa would be a good spot to spend the night. There's other campers, which is totally chill. They were fine. Didn't blast music till 2 a.m. So yeah, this morning we got up and we made some coffee and we decided to go for a bit of a walk to see what the area was like. And up here we have a really beautiful view of the reservoir and the mountains around. So we're gonna go back, we're gonna make some breakfast, and then we're gonna return with our drone all charged up and ready to go and get some great shots for you guys. So here we go. Gracias a Dios para presas, no? Feeding the street dog. She's so sweet. She's been just hanging out. Obviously, she's hungry. She's skin and bones. So we put some bacon and some tortillas and some beans in a tray and the breakfast before it came.
Oh my God. So we crossed the border into Sonora, Mexico 2 days ago. Got the work done in our van. Everything was fine. We went and stayed on this beautiful presa for 2 nights. That's like 3 days ago. 2 nights at the presa. And then the boys at the mechanic forgot to put something back in the van. Nothing really major, just like some rubber skirting to protect the engine from getting some spray. So we went back to Agua Prieta, which was only about 40 kilometers, not that big of a deal. And then we came back to the same town we stayed at last night, or you kind of that you turn to go to the presa. And we slept right at the cemetery, right over here. We're kind of like on a hill. If you can see, the town is kind of like below us. We're on this little hill where the cemetery is. They have this little like touristy thing. We're sitting on the benches. But yeah, it's great to be back. It's super chill. You hear the music playing, roosters, cockadoodle doing down in the town.
Yeah. Today was the first morning that we woke up to the sound of roosters because there's none over by the presa. Like there's not really, there's a little town out there, but it seems like everyone here has a couple chickens and a rooster, and so I just love that, waking up to the sound of roosters in the morning. It's great.
So after having our coffee here on this little Mirador lookout point, we are going to continue on south.
to camp by presas, which are reservoirs. And so there was a reservoir back here. It's like 10 kilometers from the next town out. And yeah, we were just parked right here, but we weren't sure if we could keep going. And so we just chatted with this guy back here. He said no problem. And just up the hill here, there was like a really wide, flat space for us to camp. Beautiful lookout over the Presas and the mountains. So we're going to stay here for the night and continue south in the morning. Presas are the best place to camp in Mexico. You can camp in all kinds of places. Most people don't care where you are, but Presas, usually beautiful and quiet.
Look at that beautiful lake behind us. Wow, so beautiful here. We just pulled into the spot. There's a presa right behind us, a reservoir, a lake, beautiful mountains in the background. The sun's going down. Look at the colors.
The drive-in was cool too, right?
Oh, the drive-in was cool. We were behind these guys. Well, I pulled over to let him pass, but we were behind this truck and they're cranking country music. It was sweet.
And just like really cool, you know, we're driving through like ranch land and there's mountains all around us and it's just chill.
Yeah, this is a beautiful spot.
Come to Mexico. It's
maybe
chill.
we'll get the drone and fly it around before the sun goes down here in a
that's
second.
a good idea. Well, we gotta get out of here. And the road, you can't really tell probably on the video, but the road gets pretty steep down there. So we're just gonna walk. We know we can go in either direction, but neither is optimal. So we're just gonna walk down both directions here and see which way is best to get out of here with the band. It's not a struggle.
Yeah. With our coffee. This is our morning coffee walk. Cheers, baby. So when we first got here, we drove kind of around the presa and then we came up here and there's like a little house. And initially we asked the guy, you know, is it cool if we kind of camp here? And he said, yeah, no problem. So we drove up here and we've been here now for 2 nights. We're just on the way out now. And before I went, I had a pair of jeans that, you know, I've got a bunch of pairs of pants, an old pair of Levi's, and I saw the guy and I was like, you know, I was like, hey man, do you want a pair of jeans, whatever? So I gave them to him. You know, whatever. He walked down to his house, went back to his house, and then we were just kind of packing up to leave, and he shows up and he gives us all these fish that he caught in the lake here. And you know, it's unbelievable. Like, you know, he could have tried to get money out of us when we wanted to camp here. He was just super nice. You know, and yeah, I gave him an old pair of ratty jeans, and then he comes back and, you know, he kind of felt like he wanted to kind of, you know, be generous in return. You know, it's just unbelievable. You know, it was very touching, I think. Just where I go, I believe I'll ride it down to Mexico. So these are those fish Buddy gave us for the jeans. Well, I don't know if we sold them or anything, but so we are going to. I just gutted this one. I'm gonna try to fillet it, and we're having fish tacos for dinner tonight. So we'll see how this goes.
Gracias, pescado, para tu vida.
We're eating some of that fish for breakfast we got last night. Lindsay fried it up. Super delish. Had some fish tacos for dinner last night. And we are camped outside of Sahuaripa, Sonora, the little town where we got our rear brakes replaced because the one pad was completely. There was no pad left actually, which is crazy. I thought there was a stone in the caliper for the last couple days. So we stopped in Sahuaripa at the Pemex, and I took the wheel off to get the stone out, and I took a little examination of the whole situation, and the pad was completely ground down to just like the metal mount that the pad is on, and it was just scraping the rotor. So we asked the guys at the Pemex. They said, yeah, just down the road there's a little mechanic. So we drove down there. The guy immediately took the tire off. He was like, yeah, you need new pads. Some random guy who was just hanging out at the mechanic drove me to an auto parts store. We got new pads, drove back. It was like 2 blocks down the road. Drove back. Buddy put him in. Literally the whole process. What, Linz? 30 minutes? 40 minutes?
Yeah.
40 minutes?
40 minutes max.
And then we came out to this cemetery here. See behind me. Super chill last night, just outside of town. To sleep, and we cooked the fish for dinner, and then we had one left over, so we just had it for breakfast here. Now with new brake pads and a belly full of fish, we are gonna continue on our trek towards the Broncos del Cobre.